Roanne Monte, the CEO with Armatech Global. Thanks for joining us on our Tech and Sec Weekly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Roanne, you're going to be presenting at the Security Expo. Let me just bring up the dates there. This is at the end of August at the ICC in Sydney. Goes for a couple of days, and most of our audience will be aware of the Security Expo. You're on a panel. You're talking about the SOCI, the Security of Critical Infrastructure Act here in Australia. Armatech Global, maybe tell us a little bit about Armatech and your background, and then we'll sort of just get the audience wanting some more as they prepare for the Security Expo in Sydney.
Yeah, sure thing. So Armatech Global is a Sydney-founded, Australian-founded technology company. We're an impact technology company. That means that we're really focused on creating positive social impact and really being responsible about the innovation and the technology that we build and that we have to offer the ecosystem. My background, I mean, obviously, when I was younger, I was in the arts. It's helped a lot in terms of creativity and building really user-centric and human-centric platforms that really empathize with the human and the journey of the human on any platform. But my background is obviously in computer science, also law, and been in the technology space for 20 plus years in product leadership.
Nice. Maybe tell us a little bit about your sort of client profiles. Who are you currently working with?
Yeah, so obviously there's confidentiality in terms
Just
of
their
because
profile.
we are in the intelligence space. Yeah, so we're in the defense, critical infrastructure sector, and private and public sector spaces. So really runs the gamut from it could be in terms of the private and public sector, that could be government, and also it could be a big asset management company or real estate group, any group or entity that requires securing their infrastructure, both in the cyber and physical space.
Nice. Well, that's a good segue into the panel session. One of the sort of the outcomes from the panel is looking at the SOCI Act and what it means for the security industry. What are your thoughts on where the security industry is in that convergence of cyber and physical?
Yeah, so great question. Thank you, Chris. So really, my hope is the membership base, for instance, of ASIO and the security industry base ecosystem, really capture in this expo the importance and criticality of their role. At the end of the day, if the security industry does not have a full appreciation of the scope of the importance of their role, two things may likely happen. Number one, they won't be able to stay competitive and relevant and have the offerings necessary for their customers and clients. So customers from big companies to small SMEs. And number two, it's really critical to the security of the country. All of us think of our own personal safety, right? So all the more for those in the security industry, operators and licensees, all the more I think it's incumbent upon all of us as regular citizens, let alone folks in the security industry, to really understand the scope of their important and critical in securing the country. And that's where the Security of Critical Infrastructure Act of 2018 comes to play.
And what do you think and this is all just starting to kick in the last sort of 12 months in terms of the reporting aspect. There's 11 sectors of critical infrastructure. Do you think there's sort of the maturity mix, I suppose, across those 11 sectors? Do you think there's lagging in some sectors?
Obviously, there are some sectors, for instance, that have crossover with other existing legislation. So for those folks, their level of maturity in terms of preparation, in terms of their CIRMP, the Critical Infrastructure Risk Management Program, as required by the SOCI Act, some of them have varying levels of maturity. And the government actually, if I may say, this current government, I've just been so excited about what they're doing, really being proactive and understanding what the importance is of how all these moving parts, from the SOCI Act to security industry to the convergence between cyber and physical, having all hazards approach, which is the underpinning of the SOCI Act, is really going to help secure the various sector classes. But basically differing levels, and they need all the help that they can get. And I think the conversations and collaborations that have been going on within the industry have been amazing. So I really look forward to continuing that work.
I think you've just nailed it in terms of the conversations that are required. We'll hold it there. I think we'll let the audience register now. That's securityexpo.com.au. It's the 30th of August to the 1st of September at the ICC in Sydney. We're very pleased to be media partners, so we'll see you there along with the expo as well as the conference as well. Roanne Monte, the CEO with Armatech Global here in Sydney, thank you very much for joining us today on our Tech and Sec Weekly.
Thank you so much, Chris. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing everyone at the expo.